All right, so that's all there is to Google. It's definitely got upside if they can continue to stay the course and not get swept up in AI wars. So I think the market's still going to be nervous no matter how many good quarters they put up. Google had really good numbers. Oops. Subscriptions is doing really well. Headcount's growing again at Google. It's kind of a bullish sign. Cloud is a decent profit margin now. They really do have a second business. Congratulations to Google. And YouTube, has always been sort of a different and second business. So if you look at pure search, or ad search as a percentage of revenue is 56%, and then ads as revenue is 74% ad based. But I think YouTube's, it's not clear how profitable YouTube is, to be honest. I mean, we don't break that out actually. Monster CapEx. They spent they spent 18 billion on CapEx. Last quarter was 14. Quarter before that was 10. Quarter before that was 10. So they spent 18 billion on CapEx. Quarter before that was 9. So they are buying those chips. Jeez. I'm guessing that's a mix of TPUs and GPUs. I think they increasingly want GPUs because talented developers in AI, they don't know TPU. They don't know JAX necessarily or whatever TPUs run on. They're used to CUDA, they're used to Torch. So, and Google has been buying, and for Google Cloud, they need them too. But Google has been buying NVIDIA chips. I want to hire an NVIDIA reporter, somebody who really follows NVIDIA, stalks them, gets scoops. Google raised some debt too. Spending on R&D, quite substantial. Some big G&A expense. There's probably a one-time charge in there. Very unusual expenditure there. Although, yeah, maybe, yeah, quite unusual, I would say. So let's see if there was a one-time event there. Usually, some government agency is shaking down Google for some payment. which if it wasn't Google, I'd feel bad for them because it's such a ridiculous practice. You know, government agencies just look at these big companies as punching bags. Again, nobody feels bad for them. But, you know, what if you started a big company and the government was just like, yeah, fuck it, let's tag them for a couple billion fine every other quarter. You know, it's wrong. Nobody, absolutely no tears shed for Google though, which I get. A friend of mine called Zuckerberg Lizard Man the other day. It's really funny. Yeah, so 22 billion PP&E for the quarter. So 22 billion capex. So PP&E went up, as I mentioned, 18 billion. So they depreciated 4 because they spent 22. So they wrote off 4 in useful value, but they actually bought $22 billion of computers. And at one point, Google was buying 5 or 6 billion a quarter. 22 billion. This is the wildest arms race capacity build out in the history of humanity. Not to make it sound too dramatic, but you know, we are at a peak of economic activity in the history of humanity as well, so it's not like it's unusual, but it's pretty amazing. They did do a bond offering. They raised $26 billion in bonds. So how's free cash flow looking? For Google, I guess trailing 12 months free cash flow year over year is still good, but the free cash flow this quarter was pretty weak. And again, for good reason, they're spending massive amounts on capex, so you know, quite reasonable to assume that, or to look at that. I mean, it's even impressive. Quite frankly, it's kind of impressive they are growing cash flow at all. Given the circumstances of this build out. But really healthy quarter for Google. You know, how they transition to the AI business, we'll see. They said cloud's on a $50 billion run rate, raising their capex to 85 for this year. It's amazing these companies' capex guidance is really important. So let's see. To make 85, could they do that without going up too much? Yeah, so that's like basically the same amount of spending they have now. One sec. Try not to look at meme stocks like Krispy Kreme. It's kind of a ridiculous thing to waste time on. You want to look at real companies that are not trafficked or looked at by internet meme people. If you're an internet meme person, go away. Go away! I saw Krispy Kreme on message board. I read Quantum, he's good. All right, so that's all there is to Google. It's definitely got upside if they can continue to stay the course and not get swept up in AI wars. So I think the market's still going to be nervous no matter how many good quarters they put up. Shall we look at Tesla? Shareholder deck. Meme stocks are like banks for retards. There's no sense in even bothering. I mean, if they want to have their own private bank, that's uncorrelated to